Hi, this is Frank Warren. You're watching Lights Out.
This is Faisal Khan for Lights Out, and with me via Zoom, delighted and privileged, joined by, you know what? I'm going to say one of the guys that I've been interviewing since I began Lights Out, a guy that's always given me his time, the British middleweight champion, Mr. Denzel Bentley. Denzel, a pleasure as always. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. And like you said, you've been interviewing me and giving me time, giving me some airtime from the beginning when no one else was from early. So I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you giving me your time, man. And I remember going all the way back to 2018 outside the Peacock, sticking a camera in your face, and you were telling me that, listen, these guys, they need to take notice of me because when I come up, I'm going to tear up. And that's exactly what you've been doing. April 24th, you take on Felix for the British and Commonwealth titles. Firstly, preparation and training camp. How's that been going for you?
Yeah, everything's going well, man. Can't complain. I'm fit. I'm good to go. I'm ready. I'm at that point where I'm ready to go now. So it's just about maintaining and, not trying to go over the edge and just maintaining what I've got going on right now for the next 2.5 weeks, and we're ready to go.
It's a huge fight, Denzel. Obviously, you've got two British middleweight fighters that are undefeated, both with similar records. How confident are you that your arm gets raised on April the 24th?
I'm very confident. Before I won the British title, it was said that I'd have to, the winner would have to, defend it against Felix Cash. So I've known for a while, and I've always been on it. I've always been ready. I've always been, okay, cool, let's get this and then defend it against Felix. And that's not a problem. So I'm very confident in my ability. I'm confident, that it's the right time, and I'm moving forward at a nice pace. So I want all these clashes. Like I said to you back in the day when, we kind of first linked up, I want all these matchups, from the Southern area times when I was trying to get that. So I don't shy away from anybody. It's a fight where, it's 50-50. We're both at that same level, similar records. And I'm good. I'm confident, man. I'm confident I can take this.
The second fight with Mark Hearn, a lot of people said that would be the biggest test of your career, regardless of how the first fight went with Mark Hearn. But do you see this fight with Felix Cash as the biggest test of your career so far?
I think it's the same level as the Hearn fight. It's all British level fights. So every fight, you're only as good as your last performance. So every fight from here on out after this would be a big test because I only want to move forward. So this is, you can say this is a big test, but when I got on with Mark Hearn, it was a lot of noise. 26 fights, 20 Saturn knockouts. I only lost to Liam Williams, blah, blah. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for that? Blah, blah, blah. Felix Cash is the same thing. More experience as an amateur. Obviously, more people know him because he has a better profile, being with Sky from his debut. Whereas, I came on small shows and dinner shows, so people are only finding out who I am now, which is cool. But, people are saying 50-50 and some may give him the edge. I've seen some people give me the edge, but it's one of those fights where it's a test regardless. I'm not seeing it bigger or smaller than Mark. I'm taking it just as serious, and, I want to come out with the same results.
Denzel, what's your honest thoughts on Felix Cash as a fighter? What have you made of him in his career so far?
I think he's a good fighter. I can't take that away from him. I think he's a good fighter. He done this thing as an amateur to get to where he is today, and he is where he is today. I just feel like he hasn't fought anyone like me yet, or close to me. But he's a good fighter, man. Commonwealth champion, so I can't really knock him.
Yeah, I don't think no one's really asked you the question. You've just sort of blown up onto the scene in the last, within the last 18 months or so. As you made your BE Sports debut not so long ago, and now you're British champion. You've got the nickname the Black Golovkin. How are you handling all of that pressure right now? Because, there's a lot of people that are building you up to sort of, be the next big thing in the weight division. And so far, you've proved people right, and you are showing what you're capable of.
It's just about, pardon me, it's just about blocking everyone out. Do you know what I mean? Not in a rude or ignorant way. I appreciate all the compliments. I guess I do get some abuse, and I see it and I take it. It's the same thing for me. It's just people talking. I do appreciate the compliments. Can't let it get to me though, because that could make me lose a bit of that edge, because I feel like I've cracked it already and I haven't. So I listen to my team. That's the most important thing. My trainers, even my stable mates. I listen to all of them. But at the end of the day, when people are bigging me up online, I appreciate it. I'm happy, but I don't take too much from it. I look at it, okay, thank you, and then I move on. Because at the end of the day, you know, that could change in a heartbeat. One bad performance and all the praise turns to criticism. So, or you know, a bit of slander or whatever. But it is what it is. Like I said, I do appreciate it. I do see it, but I can't let it get to me. I've got to keep a level head and keep getting to where I need to be.
Obviously, this fight is for the British and the Commonwealth. Does the winner sort of perhaps move on next to European level, or is this the final fight where you're thinking yourself you're ready for world level?
It depends, you know. It depends on what type of performance I bring out. European is obviously in the question because that was the route Felix was going to take, you know, before me, and he decided to come to me, which, you know, I can respect. So that's obviously in the question. But if there's opportunities to move on to world level or fringe world level, then of course I'll take that. But at the end of the day, I've got to come through, you know, Felix on the 24th and make sure I perform well, perform my best, and then you can't really question whether I'm at European or world level after that, because I would have been, apart from obviously the two fighters at world level, in Chris Eubank and Liam Williams, I would have been, you know, I'd be the best fighter domestically in Britain. So
the fight's going to be on a BT Sport platform. You know, put on some good shows over the last couple of weeks. You know, the double header was pretty interesting to watch. But you know, I just want to ask you your thoughts on obviously the purse bids. Were you all surprised that Eddie Hearn didn't win the purse bids? Because I remember the build up to those purse bids, everybody had Eddie Hearn as the favourite to win those purse bids and to get the fight put on a matchroom show.
yeah, everyone just, you know, assumes, or they feel like Matchroom and Eddie have all the money. But Frank pays too. He does his thing when he wants to. You know what I'm saying? If he wants to win a purse bid, he's got the money to bid. You know what I'm trying to say? That people act like Queensberry are going bankrupt, and that's not the case. So, like I said, it's only a matter of them, you know, sticking their hands in their pockets and winning the purse bid, which is why I've said a million times I appreciate and I thank Frank and his team for going out and winning the purse bids. It allows me to believe that he obviously believes in me, trusts me, and obviously they're going with me. So they're betting with me. So it's good. I appreciate that. You know, Eddie probably didn't value the fight as much, whereas Frank, you know, probably saw me and said, you know what, we're gonna stick with this guy. He's passed every test thrown at him. So I appreciate it. But yeah, no, man, Frank pays, man.
Denzel, what's your message to Felix Cash for April the 24th?
I ain't really got a message for him. Just listen, just, you know, get ready, be there. I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Perfect. Denzel, I just want to read out a couple of questions because we put a post up on Instagram, which you
Okay.
were very kind enough to share. A few of our fans have obviously replied back. They've asked a few questions. I'll pick out a couple which I feel are the best ones. And obviously, shout out to everybody who got involved in that Instagram post. Where do you see yourself in 3 fights' time?
3 fights time? Providing everything goes well, hopefully fighting for a world title. Yeah.
Another question. What's your dream venue to fight at and against who?
Dream venue to fight at? You know what's so mad? I've always wanted to fight in America or like Wembley, but as of lately, you know, I'd love to go back to Ghana and fight in the Accra Sports Stadium. Like when I went to Ghana, I got a lot of love, so it was kind of crazy. It would be nice to, you know, bring a big fight there. So I'd like to have a fight in Ghana against Canelo. You know, that ain't happening, but it's nice to dream, innit?
Never say never. The fighters will follow where the money.
It's true.
And you know,
It's true.
boxing being opened up around Dubai. You know, there's rumors that it could be going to Singapore and stuff. So why not take boxing to Africa? You know, we've had some historic nights in Africa. Let's never forget Rumble in the Jungle. You know, Hassim
Yeah, it's true.
world champion in Africa. So you never know.
Yeah, it's true.
I was just obviously, you know, with Canelo, with the path that he's on, you're sort of coming up now. How long do you think you're away from, you know, the Eubank Juniors, the Liam Williams, the Canelos, the Andrades, you know, the big names at 160, maybe even the Golovkins as well?
You know, some of the names not too far off. You know, guys like Canelo, they're, you know, head and shoulders above the rest in the sport. So that's a matter of nurturing my skills and perfecting my skills like he has before getting to compete with someone like that. Because you don't want to just get in with someone like Canelo just to get in there with him. You want to get in there knowing that you are at your peak, you're at your best, and you can't get any better. Obviously, you always get better because you're always learning, but like you're just at that point where, you know, everything's, you know, bang on. But the other names like you mentioned, Chris Eubanks and Liam Williams, I don't think I'm far off this level. So can you see me? Yeah. I don't think I'm far off that level after this fight. I think that fight puts me, you know, on that level, if not just a level below, and I'll be with them guys very shortly. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel anyway.
Final question. I want you to give us a prediction for Canelo's next fight against Billy Joe Saunders, because I remember when we done one of the first interviews, you know, off camera, me and you spoke about Billy Joe Saunders, and you said how he's the guy that perhaps many fighters are falling asleep on in that division.
Yeah.
When Canelo gets in the ring with Billy Joe Saunders, what could you see happening?
I've said this a few times. I've said this quite a few times actually. If Billy Joe was serious and dedicated to the sport, I'm not saying, you know, he doesn't train hard or doesn't do this and that, but if his dedication was on the same level as Canelo's, he'd be a pound for pound fighter. Like, it's crazy how he's not on that pound for pound list, but I guess it just, you know, it all comes down to opponents he faced and, you know, his inactivity at times and sometimes not looking the best, but I think that's due to his antics outside of the ring. But if he had the same dedication as Canelo, he probably could beat Canelo. But I think that will be the difference in that fight. Canelo's dedication to the sport would be the difference in that fight. So I'd give it to Canelo. But Billy Joe's a great fighter, and it's like, it's one of those fighters where if anyone's going to do it, it's him. You know what I mean? I think like anyone he gets in with, I'm betting him to beat. Just not Canelo. I think Canelo lives and breathes this, and he's mastered his craft, and he's just at a point where, you know, like if Billy Joe wins, all the rules against boxing just disappear. Like, hold on, you could just not be serious and be the best person in the world that's 100% dedicated. You know what I mean? I'd love to see him do it, being the Brit and all that stuff, but it's hard to see it. Like, if you look at the game, like, you treat the game you treat the game the way you want the game to treat you, kind of thing. And I think Canelo's a perfect example of that. He's always in the gym, he's always training. You don't really see him blowing up on weight. You don't see him doing no madness. I think the one hiccup was him being caught on, you know, the clenbuterol stuff, the drugs and stuff. But I don't know how I feel about that. We had a conversation about that a few years back as well, and it is a shame if it really is cheating. If it was really the Mexican meat, then obviously we haven't seen nothing since then. But apart from that, his dedication to the sport is second to none, and I think that'll be the difference in that fight.
Well, let's wait and see. It's not far off, just like April 24th is not far off as well. And we're really looking forward to seeing
exactly.
clash for the British and Commonwealth title. And we want to wish you good luck for that fight as well, Denzel. Hope all goes
well.
You. And fingers crossed it's a good performance and it's a positive result for you. And we'll look forward to catching up with you during fight week, Denzel.
Nice one, bro. Thank you, man.
Denzel, your pleasure as always. Thank you very much for your time. And thank you very much for talking to Lights Out.
Nice one, man. Thanks for having me, man.
Thank you very much for your time, Denzel.
Okay.